There we go. Hey, what's up? My name is Stephanie. I'm with The Hidden Agenda, and I'm chilling here with Spider of Powerman 5000
Yes.
at Electric Chair Tattoo, and you're just in the middle of getting one.
Yeah, you came in a very special moment. We have just started this piece of this sexy space girl. So we're about 2 hours into the tattooing.
Wow. How many more do you got to go?
Well, I don't know. And we're going to try and finish it, so I might have a few more hours
Oh,
of
wow.
sitting here.
Before the show tonight?
Yeah, finish the tattoo, run to the club, maybe get a few minutes rest, and then play a show. So
Cool.
Should be in great shape tonight.
Cool, cool. So, your last album, Somewhere on the Other Side of Nowhere.
Right.
I love the title.
Thanks.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, I mean, as evidenced by my nerdy space tattoos, I'm a big science fiction nut, and Somewhere on the Other Side of Nowhere just sounded like this crazy psychedelic science fiction novel from the 70s or something. So I just like I also like things that are sort of vague in their meaning, so you can sort of attach your own meaning to what that could
The
be.
ambiguity.
Yeah,
I like that.
So it just sounds cool.
And how would you say it differs from like previous albums? Harder, better, faster, stronger?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, this record is sort of returned to possibly what we are most known for. We've experimented with a lot of different sounds throughout the years and different records, but I think we became most known for an album called Tonight the Stars Will Fall, which is sort of our biggest record, and that was very electronic mixed with metal with some futuristic imagery and stuff. And so this album is really just kind of almost return to that, return to form.
Getting back to your roots, kind of.
Yeah, but you learn, it's sort of returning to that sound, but in a much more modern way, and utilizing all the things that hopefully we've learned over the years. And this record is the most exciting record to me in a long time. It really feels like the best record we've ever made, and I always hesitate to say that because every band always says that about every record they make, like, this is our best record, but I really do feel like it really is,
Well, do you have like a favorite song to perform live?
Yeah, I mean, I like playing all the new stuff, and it's funny, usually you play new stuff and it doesn't go as big as the old stuff, but we found that on this tour, the newer material is really getting the biggest response, and in particular, a song like Supervillain and V is for Vampire, those songs really are going over.
I love the V is for Vampire.
Yeah.
So I was curious, have you ever gotten stage fright? I know you've been doing this for a while, but...
No, it's funny. That's one thing, even in the early days, I just never had a fear of being on stage. I have more of a fear of interacting with people in real life, Maybe that says something about... socially I can be kind of awkward in real life, but on stage, just like, no fear.
Cool, it's like you're at home, kind of comfortable.
I don't know what it is, it just always felt very natural,
Cool. And I was wondering, do you have any highlights from the tour yet? Any memorable or maybe embarrassing moments you'd like to share?
Well, depending on your perspective, every night could be a highlight or an embarrassment, I don't know. It's been we were just talking about this last night, that this tour has been remarkably smooth, which is, I think, a good thing.
Right.
The show's been really good. No falling off the stage or anything embarrassing like that. In fact, tonight hopefully will be a highlight. Every time we come through Flint and play the Machine Shop, it's usually a blast, and it's such a great club, and the people in this town really come out and tear it up. So we always look forward, when we look at the schedule, we always look forward to the Machine Shop, so I'm looking at tonight as maybe a highlight.
Cool. And I know you've had some of your songs in video games. I'm an avid gamer myself, and I was curious if you are as well, if you have any favorites.
No, not at all.
Really?
I just, I never fell into the addiction of video games, maybe when I was a little kid, playing like Pac-Man or something, but I never really, there's just too many buttons, I can't, because we've had past band members that have been very much into gaming, and I just, I'm kind of thankful I never fell into it, because I know that, you can spend many, many hours.
Yeah, I play WoW. It kind of eats chunks of your life away and you don't even notice. But yeah, speaking of past members, I was actually wondering about the current members in this particular lineup for this tour. how that's working out.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, they're not even that new anymore. I mean, these guys have been in the band for a few years now. It's really, I think, playing-wise and personally, the best lineup that we've had, because we all get along really great, and it's a, super talented bunch of guys. And in fact, I've heard that, even from fans of the band who've been following us from the beginning, that this is their favorite lineup, so that's always nice to hear.
Cool. And I'm curious, if you had 24 hours to live, what would you have to do?
Oh my God. Wow, that's a pretty intense question. I don't know if I even have an answer for that. 24 hours.
Or just like the first thing that pops in your head.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think the perspective changes as you get a little older and you have a family, and I have kids now, which is amazing to me. So, that's what you instantly think of. It's not like there was probably a time when you were, 21, you'd be like, well, I'll just party and get laid,
Right.
Which maybe is what I do anyway, but I think that time well spent with family would be, but
Yeah.
that is such a boring
Aww, it's nice though.
Yeah, it is. I'm so sorry.
So, do you happen to have any pet peeves, or what makes you tick?
What annoys me? Pet
Yeah.
peeve? Wow.
Make sure to avoid those.
I have a pretty. It's funny, I'm pretty tolerant. That saying, "Don't sweat the small stuff." I'm very much that person. Like, I have a very long fuse, but when it goes, watch out. I lose it. But
Well, that's cool. And I was wondering, did you always want to make music, or was there anything else you were aspiring to do?
yeah. I mean, I've always been an artistic person. I've always been interested in art and music, and before I discovered music, it was more about art. I was always interested in like comic books and stuff and drawing. Spent a little time at art school. But it's really been, probably ever since I was about 12 or 13, the idea of being in a band was always just really intriguing to me. So, yeah, I mean, it really, there was no B plan, no fallback, no safety net. It's like either make this happen or you're working at Walmart,
So you made it happen though.
Yeah, it's always been an interest of mine.
And do you happen to have a favorite quote?
A favorite quote?
Yeah.
You mean like from Benjamin Franklin or something?
From anyone.
I do. I don't know if this is a favorite quote, but this always stuck with me. It was actually from Jack Nicholson, the actor. One time he was doing an interview and he said, "Everything matters." And I always thought that was very interesting because you can apply that to so many parts of your life. And sometimes we tend to, when we are creating or living or doing, we brush off and it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. And I always like that opposite perspective that like everything matters. So even things you may not notice are important in some way, so I always remember that.
I like that. That's cool. And what would have to be the strangest or maybe the coolest gift that you've ever gotten from a fan?
From a fan? You get the greatest, when you go to Japan is where you get the greatest things, because they, there's a very opposite approach to their appreciation for bands. In America, kids bang on the tour bus and they're like, hey, give me something, like they want something. But in Japan, they bring you stuff. And so we would get little hand-crafted sculptures of me.
Really?
And like hand-sewn, Powerman logos and like really personalized, incredible things. So
that's really cool.
yeah, so those are always been cool. And then you get then the opposite, and they're not necessarily gifts, but in America we've had some pretty crazy when you're signing stuff. That's always been when people ask you to sign things. And usually it's a CD or a t-shirt or something, but I've signed prosthetic legs, toilet seat covers, things like that. So that's always fun.
That's cool. And do you happen to have any superstitions?
No, I can't say I do. I'm not really prone to that kind of thinking, you know what I mean?
I was just curious because it's science fiction and that maybe.
Yeah. I think if I actually do. No, I don't think I have any superstitions.
That's cool. They're all bullshit anyway. So do you happen to remember the first, and for that matter, the last CD that you actually bought?
Wow. Yeah, you know, it's funny, because I grew up, obviously, you know, I'm old enough to remember buying physical music products, CDs, even records, you know. And I always fought that to the end. I always liked, you know, owning the product. But recently I crossed over, and I'm like, I don't know. And I don't know if I remember my last CD I bought, but I remember the moment when I decided CDs were a pain in the ass, and I'm just going to download from now on. Is when I was looking last Christmas. I was looking for a CD of Christmas music. And I just had piles and piles of CDs, and they're falling all over the place and crashing and breaking. And I was like, fuck this. Like, from now on, simply download to the iPod. But I don't remember, I'm trying to think of my first record. It was probably some movie soundtrack or something. Because I was always, from a young age, I was really always into movies, you know, so I would buy, like, soundtrack to Star Wars, you know, and listen to stuff like that. So it was probably something like that. Probably wasn't even a rock record.
Yeah. So do you happen to have any hidden talents?
I don't know if I have any talents, actually.
Aw. You're very talented. Don't cut yourself short.
I don't know. I mean, I do, you know, I think that, you know, I don't know if it's hidden, but I mean, like I said, I'm very, like, an interest in art and drawing and painting and stuff like that. So that could be, I can juggle a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a hidden talent.
I guess that would be a talent, yeah.
Or maybe that's a talent that emerges, you know, 2 a.m. after a few.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the greatest. But,
All right, well, last thing I have for you, is there anything that you would like to say directly to your fans?
I mean, you know, the thing I always say, it's simple and it's sounds cliche, but it's really, you know, a direct thank you, because it's like, I think a lot of times, and I notice this behavior with a lot of bands, is there's a general lack of respect for their fans. I think that, you know, I mean, being in a band is a long road, and it can be difficult. Like, sometimes you forget, you know, why you are allowed to go on stage, or why you have a song, and, you know, and when you're playing a show and these kids are singing the lyrics back to you. I mean, it's very, like, you know, it's something that I always, after all these years, try not to forget, like, how powerful a thing that is, and I try not to brush it off. So, I mean, I just have a great sense of appreciation for anyone that even devotes any amount of their time to something that I created, you know. So, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just important, you know.
Very cool, because
so
everything matters, right?
Everything matters.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time out.
Hopefully that was good.
Yeah, it was great. Can't wait for the show.
Yeah, it should be fun.